I feel like all you can see is Steffi Lee's eyebrows, but this is Steffi Lee merch. I love her. What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we're gonna be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys on the community tab if you had any questions for me, and we got 450 questions. I don't think I can answer all of those, but I'm gonna try my best to answer like the most liked or like, you know, the ones you guys really want to know. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jess. I'm a person in long-term recovery who has been to prison, and on this channel we share all kinds of stuff. My life's a mess in this moment. I talk about prison, addiction, and mental health. If you want to follow me on any other social media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, I don't know why I shimmy when I say it, that's $2. It's only ever gonna be $2. All of that is linked down below, as well as my vlog channel and my podcast and my Facebook page. Whew, I got a lot of apps. There's a lot of things happening over here. Because you guys asked me so many questions, let's just kick this thing off. I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm not going to put the questions on the screen because your girl's lazy and I'd have to like type all of them out, but you can follow along on the community tab. I'm just gonna go in order. The first question is, what was it like living with your daughter for the first time properly? Love from England. As much as I wanna sit here and say like, it was bliss, it was stressful and I was really uncertain and I didn't know if I was a good mom, I didn't know how to be a mom, and I second guessed myself constantly. I was always trying to take other people's advice instead of trusting my own instinct and trusting my gut, and I really just, I didn't think I was a good parent for a long time. I think subconsciously I was trying to, I guess like make up for time that I wasn't there in my own head, and I kind of had to just like let that go and just be in the present moment and just be the best mom that I could be. Learning to trust myself, trust my ability as a parent has evolved over time, but at first there were a lot of really tough moments. It was hard for her to adjust to a new home, and I don't think that anyone can really prepare you for what that feels like. I was really unsure of myself, but having the best time with her. She was such a sweet toddler and just, oh my God, amazing. So on one hand, I was second guessing myself. I was really stressed out. I was really unsure. Then on the other hand, I have this amazing, beautiful, funny little girl that has so much energy, and she was just sweet from day one, and she's 10 now. I know. If you had to describe the stages of grief for your experience of what you and your family are going through, what would they be? Do you think a lot of people feel these things when a loved one relapses? So much love for you. I mean, just from my point of view, and I'm gonna answer this the best way that I can, but at first it was just a lot of confusion and I wasn't sure of what was really going on, and I was very concerned. Then when I found out, I was scared, like literally so scared, and angry and worried and toxic and just not in the best headspace. And I wasn't making the best decisions early on this year when, you know, I first found out that he was struggling with a relapse, and then I started drinking, and then I was not a good partner because I was just really, really scared and mad and angry and frustrated and all of the things at once. And if we hold sand, like this is the best reference that I have, right? If we hold sand in our hand like this, it's gonna stay there. But if you squeeze it, because you just wanna hold on to it so badly, it's gonna seep through your fingers. And there was just a lot of negativity and noise, and I was just, you know, frustrated. And now moving forward, as I prepare to close on this home, when I'm filming this video I haven't yet, but as I prepare to close on my home, and as he and I are working through a lot of different stuff, I do have moments of just deep sadness, and I'm second guessing myself, and then I have moments where I'm really angry and really frustrated. And it kind of just comes in waves, but he and I are both doing the best that we can, and yeah, he's doing okay. And I have to take responsibility for the mistakes that I've made, and in all of the different times where I wasn't the best partner, I wasn't the best friend, or I wasn't, you know, and there's just a lot. There's a lot going on, so I can't really explain the stages of grief right now, but it comes in waves, and I hope that makes sense. Did the fact that Reese was telling stories on the channel and essentially reliving the trauma to tell us stories contribute to his mental health and the situation he is in now? I don't want to speak for him, but no, I really don't believe that sharing stories on the internet from his perspective have contributed to any kind of negativity. The Ride or Die crew has been so supportive and so kind in everything that we do, and no, I don't think that videos on the channel contributed to what is going on. There were things that he shared that we didn't talk about often, and I'm so grateful for all of those videos, as I know you guys are too. But hopefully he'll come back on the channel at some point and he'll kind of go over that, but I don't think that the videos that we filmed contributed to that. With all the recent challenges, have you felt more susceptible to relapse, and how do you prevent that? Honestly, it is the complete opposite. I have to be here for our kids, and I have to make sure that I'm okay and I'm healthy and I'm sober and the kids are okay. I can't speak for anyone else's situation or what someone else might be going through if they're kind of in the same or a similar situation as me, but I know just for me, it has done the literal opposite. I'm not trying to get high. I'm not trying to pick up a substance. I want to be there for my babies, and I can't do that if I'm using drugs. And yes, I know alcohol is a drug, and I'm doing a lot better with that. And like, you know, progress, not perfection, but when it comes to using drugs and getting high, I do not want to do that, because I know if I do that, then I can't be here for our babies. I know you've been dealing with a lot of personal issues with your ex's addiction difficulties. Reese is not my ex. I am not single. We are still in a committed relationship. We just need to separate and take time. And I know that is very difficult for the internet to understand. And I know a lot of people want to tell me my relationship status. Reese and I are still together. But how do you balance trying to be sympathetic to your partner's own problems, which you've obviously struggled with yourself, but at the same time trying to move forward? Okay, this question is basically, I'm probably gonna have to put this on the screen. This question is basically asking me, like, how do I take care of myself? How do I help and not enable? In my mind, enabling an addict is like giving them money or like a ride to the trap house. You know what I mean? And I don't think that cooking for them, making them food, making sure they're safe, making sure they have a place to shower, I don't think that's enabling them. I think that's loving them. And the balance, the line is razor thin, right? It is very hard to set boundaries and to stay firm in those boundaries and to help them without enabling them, while at the same time making sure that you're okay and your mental health is okay. But I don't think that cooking for someone and being there for them if they're detoxing or giving them a place to shower or sleep, I don't think that is enabling an addict. I think that is showing love towards them. Every situation is different, and don't do anything that you can't handle. You know, if you've tried and you're trying to love and empathize with someone that is an active addiction and you've done all you can and your mental health is suffering, then take a step back. For sure. You know your situation. But for me personally, I don't believe in tough love immediately. That's not like the number one thing that I would go to. That is very far down on the list. Let me speak from the perspective of a person that was in active addiction for 10 years. From my point of view, I always remember the people that didn't judge me for using, judge me for being high, the people that made me a sandwich, let me take a shower, or maybe let me spend the night. I always remembered those places where I felt safe and I felt comfortable, where someone wasn't harping on me or nagging me or yelling at me to get sober. Having said that, I can say all of those things very easily online, and I understand that like this is what we should do, right? Because when I was in active addiction, I didn't want to be nagged or harassed about it. I just wanted like a sandwich, and I wanted to chill, and I wanted to like hang out, you know? Okay, wanted to feel safe and not judged. Even though I know that in my soul, it is a lot more challenging when the person that you are in a relationship with, the person that you have kids with, a person you've been with for a long time is experiencing that. So I know that I was the opposite of everything that I just said that I needed in active addiction. And because I was so scared and triggered at times and toxic at times, because of that, I had to take a step back. And that is why I am getting my own place. And that is a decision that I've agonized over. But when we're in active addiction, that's what we need. And I don't think that kicking someone to the curb and showing them tough love and not being there for them, not checking in on them, I don't think that is good. I don't think any of that is good. But again, you know what you can handle. If your mental health is suffering, absolutely take a step back. But the line is razor thin sometimes, and we're all just doing the best that we can. And there is no right answer. There's no, hey, if I do this checklist of things, that person's gonna get sober. Because at the end of the day, they're not gonna do that until they want to. But they're gonna remember who was there for them and who loved them through that, even though they were impossible to love. They're gonna remember those moments, and they're gonna gravitate towards those people a lot more than they gravitate towards the people that were like, just get sober, blah, right? They're gonna gravitate towards the love versus the shame, the negativity, the crying, the toxic energy. You know, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Do you have plans to cover juvenile detention centers? I can. I absolutely can make those videos. A lot of people want to know about the boundaries workbook that I talked about in a live stream that I had. It's literally just called the Boundaries Workbook on Amazon, and I can link it down below. A lot of you guys want to know how me and the kids are doing, and we're doing really good. You know, we're doing the best that we can. It's not easy to stay in a hotel with the kiddos. And let me just be really clear here. I think I've said this before. Reese is not making me stay in a hotel with the kids. I want Reese to be in a home where he feels safe and comfortable. This was my decision. It's not like he kicked us out on the street and we're staying in a hotel because of that. No, and I don't know where that keeps coming from, or I don't know why people keep saying, why did you leave? Why did you and the kids should stay there? It was my decision, but the girls and I are doing really good. We do arts and crafts all the time in the hotel because I'm trying to get them off the screens. It's so hard to stay in a hotel, but we're closing on the house in a week or two. Oh my God, the paperwork that they need, it's crazy. It is crazy. Why do they need to see all of my transactions in my bank statement? That's what I really want to know. I know this is taking a turn, but like, can I just send you a Snapchat that says I have money in the account and I can pay the bill? Why do you have to know how many times I ordered Uber Eats? Okay, why? Why do you need to know that? It just looks depressing. Why do you have to know how many times I've been to Target? Okay, stop it. How was your prison social worker, or did you even have one? Who helped you back into society after prison? Like, did you have a counselor or a sort of no one? Who made the biggest impression on your life from your time in prison? Prisons have social workers that will come in for different reasons, but like, I only talked to one because I was pregnant and having Micah. Who helped me? No one. I went to a halfway house. Prison does not help prepare you for society. It just doesn't. And to answer who had the biggest impact on me, that was a lifer. We had the same kind of history. She was a drug dealer. I was a drug dealer. She was involved in a deal gone bad, and she has life. For whatever reason, I never thought that I would be spending my entire life in prison because of a deal gone bad. Like, I never thought it would happen to me, even though I knew that it could have happened to me. But the way that she interacted with me and the way that she said, do you not realize that you are one mistake away from spending the rest of your life in this cell with me? And I'm like, actually, it seems obvious when you say it like that, but no, I hadn't thought about it because I really never thought it would happen to me. But I was making the same mistakes that she was making. I was in the same kind of world that she was in. I was carrying guns and drugs, and I was doing all that stuff. So what in the hell? How did I not put that together? And this is what's so hard, is that people told me that. My dad always told me that the lifestyle that I was trying to live, there's only two roads, prison and the ground. And people have said things like that to me throughout the course of my life, but it didn't hit the same until a woman with a life that had been there for 20 years looked me dead in the face and was like, what makes you think that you're not gonna spend the rest of your life here with me? And I'm like, I don't know. You're telling me now for the first time? It just hit different. Oh my God, I lost my place because I tried to block one of those stupid spam accounts. Like, there's a lot of spam accounts going all over YouTube right now, but the way that you guys can tell if it's me or like a creator that you follow, if they're over 100K, they have a check mark. That's how you can tell that that's like officially our page. So please know how to recognize scams. I will never message you on Telegram or WhatsApp. I won't send you a crazy link. I won't tell you that you won something in a text. That's all a scam. Can you please tell us how you knew it was time to draw the boundaries needed to walk away? I imagine there must have been a few times where you thought never again, but you trust and hope they'll change each time. Because I'm like, never again. Also me. Againing. I knew that it was time a while ago because I have been very toxic in dealing with the situation, and there's a ton of things that I haven't responded to the right way, and a lot of my triggers that I never fully worked through from a decade ago have been brought to the surface. And as I started to recognize that, it was like, whoa, I need to take a step back. I'm not helping him. I'm not helping him, I'm not helping me, and we need this time apart. And I know that I've said multiple times that I made this decision, and I did, but it's not something that Reese is fighting me on. He understands it, he agrees with it. It's not like we're fighting about that. We know that we need space. We know that we love each other. We know that we still want to be together, but space right now is so important. And as much as I made that first decision to just go, it is mutual, and we have talked about it. I see him almost every day, and he's doing really well, but we have a lot that we have to work through. I'm very aware of the moment that I knew that I had to leave. I don't want to talk about the specifics around that, but when I realized you have to go, I didn't actually leave for another month or so. It is never my intention to come on here and talk crap about him or bash him, which I don't. I love him very much. We both have a lot of stuff that we have to work on individually, and we both hope that we can come back together and be under the same roof. But right now, it's just not good for either one of us. I just want to read this comment from Nikki Mary. She said, I started watching your channel when you had about 5,000 subscribers and have witnessed a lot of amazing things from you. What would you say is your greatest accomplishment besides being a mother? I think my greatest accomplishment is still going. It's like an ongoing thing, and I can't take full credit for it, but I've been able to help inspire people to find recovery, and I've been able to help people get into treatment. And I'm a partner with Groups Recover, and I know I say that in almost every video, but because of Groups, I've been able to help people find the strength that they always had to find recovery, which that's all you. I will never take credit for that. I'm just so glad I was able to inspire you to do so, and then helping people change their mindset on prison, addiction, mental health. That is huge. And my favorite comment to get is from someone that didn't originally like me, and they're coming back to the channel to say, you know what, I was kind of crappy to you. I didn't like the channel. I thought you were glorifying it, glamorizing it, and I was kind of close-minded, but you helped me see things from a different perspective, and I really appreciate your videos. It's my favorite comment to get. It's the best comment because that is the entire goal. It's to take someone who doesn't really know, or they have a preconceived, notion of what prison is or addiction. Maybe they've been hurt by someone that was an addict or a felon. I don't know, but I've been able to change their mindset. Oh my gosh. If I can help inspire you to find recovery, even fucking better. And I'm so grateful that you guys have given me this platform and given me the opportunity to share my story and to inspire so many people. And my videos are seen all around the world, which I have a hard time thinking about because it makes me super anxious. But you guys have given that to me, and I hope what I can give back is enough. This person has 2 questions. Are you going to do a new home tour once everything settles? I'm gonna do 2 of them. I'm gonna do an empty house tour on the vlog channel, and I'm also going to do a furnished house tour. Are you and Reese done for good, or is this just a wait until he works on himself and you? Reese and I are still together. We're in a relationship, we're working things out individually, and then together. What was it like the moment you told your daughter you got full custody? I just imagine y'all hugging and screaming and crying and dancing around. Once the judge said, the case was closed, we walked out into the hallway, and I got on my knees and I hugged her, and she was so little, and then we left, and I said we did it. And I cried a little bit, but she really didn't understand that in that moment. How do you cope with trauma of not having personal items for so long? How do you cope with the fear of losing said items after prison? I have similar trauma, and I found a lot of comfort in your videos. That's a good question. I wasn't so naive to think that all of the things that I was buying with drug money, I was gonna get to keep. I knew that I wasn't going to keep them. I knew that at any moment the cops could come kick in my door and all my stuff is gone. And because I knew that, I kind of trained my brain to be like, enjoy it now, enjoy it while it lasts. Like I knew that I was gonna lose all my stuff, and I have repetitively. I think the only things that I was like really upset to lose would be like pictures or things that I can't replace. That was really hard, and even before prison, I moved around a lot. So, I grew up in Section 8 housing, and I bounced around the whole state of New York, even went out to Nebraska one time when I was like 8 or 9. I have constantly lost my things and had a different place all the time, and I was moving around constantly. So I always lost my stuff, even before prison. So in my mind, I never really put a deep value on like personal possessions or clothes or like anything except for pictures and stuff like that that I can't replace. Maybe it's, a memento or something that a friend gave me and that friend had passed away. Things like that, that is hard to lose. And I did have a hard time with that. But in terms of like my furniture, or my clothes, or all the things that the cops took from me every single time I got locked up, it just was what it was, But I will say I've been out of that world for like 10 years. So I remember when I was arrested last time, I had 2 suitcases full of really expensive stuff, custom shoes, Gucci glasses that I liked, iPod Touch. I had a ton of things that I really liked. I remember I had these DC shoes with my crew numbers 022 in the back of them, so like my shoes were custom and stuff. I also had journals that I had kept the entire time I was in Arkansas on meth, and I had them in these suitcases that I lost because when I was arrested at 4:30 in the morning at a gas station, my suitcases were in a hotel room and I lost them. I was very upset about that because all I owned in the world was in those 2 suitcases, and I was so tired of losing my stuff. So I know that it's really easy for me to say now that I'm 10 years out of that world and I know the cops can't take my stuff anymore, but I remember being so upset in that moment, trying to call bondsmen, to call this person and that person to go pick up my suitcases that I know that people in that world would have just rifled through and they would have taken whatever they wanted, right? But I was so desperate to get that back, and I remember that feeling, and it's crazy that you're asking me that now because I haven't thought about that in a really long time, but I probably dealt with it in anger because it was like the only emotion I was good at the time. What are your goals for the immediate or not so immediate future? Oh my gosh. We're about to hit 1 million on this channel. The Ride or Die crew and I have been working on this goal for, has it been 4 years now? I'm not exaggerating when I say that I never in a million years thought that this channel would have as many subscribers as we have. I thought that was crazy, and it is. Like 100K on 2 different channels. I never in a million years thought that I would have this much success on the internet, and you guys did that for me. So we're so close to 1 million, and I can't even wrap my head around it. I can't even wrap my head around it. So that is definitely an immediate goal that we're working towards. Another immediate goal is to be like mentally stable. And just continue to work on therapy and continue to work on my past trauma and my triggers and how to respond to things, and just that is a very important goal. And I know that might not sound like a goal that you would typically hear from like a content creator. Mentally stable is great, and working through my traumas and working on boundaries still. Knowing how to respond to certain things is also something that as a 33-year-old, I'm still working on it, okay? I wanna be the bigger person, and I wanna be healed, and I wanna stop finding fault with them, and I want to stop finding fault with me, and I want to live my happy life. There is a piece of me that's like, you know what? Life is too short to be the bigger person. Tell them they're a cunt. But also, yes, life's too short. Tell them to fuck off. I just feel like if I am, lucky enough to make it to 80 or 90 years old, on my deathbed, I think I'm sincerely going to regret not telling more people to fuck off, I'm working on it. Stay toxic, my friends. Are you planning on allowing Reese to see the girls while you supervise it all during his current struggles, or are you going to be taking a step back altogether? Yes, I am letting Reese see his children. I am not going to try to take his children away from him. We have a schedule and things are going pretty good. What do you feel is the number 1 thing someone would need to adjust to life outside of prison to help successfully adjust to their life again? A job. A place to stay and a job, maybe some clothes, some hygiene stuff. That helps so much more than I can even put into words. Having a way to make money is like the first step in not reverting back to our old ways. Maybe you're a thief, maybe you're a dealer, maybe you know how to hustle on the street and make money however you were making money. It is so easy to revert back to that. It is so much harder to move things in a positive direction. It's so much harder to work at a job that doesn't pay that much and you're working tons of hours a week and you're barely making it at first, right? That is so much harder, but it is so worth it. So a job, place to stay, some hygiene stuff, some clothes, top of the list, but you need a way to make money, so we need to hire more felons, please. If you are struggling in active addiction, I'm a partner with Groups to Recover. I know I already said that in this video, but I wanna say it again. We're in new states all the time, so definitely check out the map. They believe in harm reduction. They're 420 friendly. Yes, that's a pathway to recovery as well. Abstinence works great for some, but it's not the only way, it is just a way. And I know that is tough to hear sometimes, but I always leave my information with Groups in the description box, so definitely go check them out. But I'm gonna end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you, and I will see you guys in my next one.